Hi everyone, welcome to this short training video. I'm Laura, this is my face up here. I'm going to just play with this little pointer thing, I've just discovered it. And this training is going to be how to plan for your business. It's going to be really simple, shouldn't be a long video for you to watch. And this is just going to take you through a really simple method for planning for your business. It's going to be relevant whether your business is established, if you're just starting off, or if you're just thinking about it in the future. Even if this is something like a distant dream, hopefully this will give you a bit of an idea about what that might look like for you going forward. It's something that I think is not too overwhelming. I think it's a good way to stop the overwhelm, as you'll kind of see as we go on. And it's also, the way that I've set this up is about putting income generation first. And the reason for that is that if you don't have a business unless you're making money, and we can't, I'm sure a lot of people watching this like me will have, we want to help people, we want to share something with the world, and our business is the vehicle for that. And yes, and it's totally fine to have, to want to set up a business because it gives you flexibility and the ability to make money in the way that you want, but the business has to be the vehicle for that, and we have to make money. So income generation first is a really good way to go. So to get started, we're going to start off by looking at how we're going to make money. And to give an example from my business, and this is looking forward to 2018, I've started off with kind of like the headers, if you like, the big areas, income generation areas. So there's coaching and training, digital products, a self-study e-course, design work, which kind of links into some of the trainings you'll see in a moment, and affiliates. So to drill that down, that looks like masterminds and mentoring packages, my Wholehearted journal, which is a quarterly digital and in-print journal, and my self-care ebook. I'm going to change my mindset makeover course into a self-study one. Design work, which is included in my Done For You business program, which is my mentoring package, which includes like websites and branding and opt-ins and all sorts. And my affiliates as well. So I am an affiliate for IIN, which is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, which is a health coaching course that I did, which really was the gateway for me being able to do all of this. So I'm a very proud affiliate for IIN. I do offer a free call if anyone wants to have a chat with me about whether or not that's the right option. I'm very, very honest about whether or not I think it's the right option for people, because it's not always the best choice. But if people do decide to sign up, then I do get a kickback from IIN for that. And also organisations like Amazon, if anyone clicks through on a link on my site and I've linked that, I'll get like a bit of a kickback as well. And then from that stage, you kind of want to start to move things down into actual packages and just to start forming them into really specific things. So for my example, these are the things, bit of a behind the scenes nose for you guys, that I'm going to be working on. The first thing is my Wholehearted quarterly journal, which I really want to give that a good go and see how that goes in terms of sales, and something I really enjoy doing. But that's my in-print and digital magazine cum journal. I also want to start a Wholehearted Wellbeing Mastermind, which is going to be an intensive, working with a smaller group of women in a really intensive, very hands-on way. That's going to be hopefully starting in the middle of the year. My Wholehearted Business Mastermind, which is going to be working with a small number of people, again, over like about 4 or 5 months, just in a really intensive way with lots of training. My Your Business Done For You package, which is 6 months mentoring with everything included. So that's websites and branding and opt-ins and everything like that. My Mindset Makeover course, which is going to go self-study. My self-care e-guide, my affiliate as mentioned on the last page, and also a book, which I keep putting on, but perhaps because I've kind of wet my feet in the self-publishing kind of thing with the journal, I might actually give the book a try. At this stage as well, just to chat a little bit about some of the things that you can add to this. So at this stage, if you're just thinking about starting a business, or if you're just at that initial stage, do include your non-directly income generating projects. So for example, a website, branding, starting to work with an assistant, starting a podcast. That's something I probably should have on my list, to be honest, because I really want to start a podcast. Add those in place of some of those income generation things, because those are your chunky main tasks, things that you need to get done to move your business ahead. If you're an established business, I think it's really important, I haven't put this on the slide unfortunately, that this is really important to reflect on what's worked and what hasn't worked in the previous year and make changes. So as you'll notice on the last slide for me, there's quite a lot more businessy stuff, but what's changed for me is I really want to offer a lot more of the wellbeing stuff for free, and just offer that as widely as I can. I've changed the Balance Club, so I had a monthly membership group. That was a really low cost model. What I found was that it just wasn't, for a lot of different reasons, it wasn't connecting. I wasn't getting new members coming in. From an admin point of view, it was a lot of work to manage that membership. And it was a lot of work that I was doing, but it was a limited number of women I was serving in that way. And I decided to kind of just take I didn't close it down, I kind of just took the payment off it really, and made it something where, you know, if women want, one of the main aspects of the Balance Club was it was a monthly balance bundle with recipes and information in, and that's turned into the Wholehearted Journal. So that's available now for anyone who wants it. They don't have to be part of the club. And also one of the big parts of that I was doing of that was masterclasses, but I really wanted to start a podcast. So it was kind of like I couldn't really do both, and that was one of the reasons why I just decided that wasn't working. And like I said, I've kind of, you know, I've been working with a coach myself. I always think it's important to, you know, walk your talk. So I've been working with a coach, and one of the things that we've done is really streamline what I offer. Compared to past years, because I was offering a lot of different things, and this is streamlined, and what I really want to do is have a much bigger impact, because ultimately a lot of the support that I was offered through the membership club, which was like a Facebook group and things like that, you know, I can offer that for free and I can really help a lot of people. But actually going really deep with people, I can do that within the mastermind setting as well. So I'll talk a bit more about that later. But that's just some of the reasons behind mine. And again, this is just my model. You know, I have transitioned to doing a little bit more work around business. You know, I've been running my own business now for 6 years. So that's just been a bit of a natural transition. And I'm using a lot more of my design skills that I picked up when I was at university as well, which is great. But yeah, so definitely reflect on the past as well. And what you can bring, what needs to be brought forward, what needs to be left last year if you run an established business. And then this is one of my favourite little kind of tools to show how you might want to tackle some of these projects and income generation streams. So this is the bridge analogy. So for example, this is where you are now. And that's the goal. So the goal that I'm using here is making three grand a month. Lovely goal to have. What most people do, myself included in the past, is they have like a bajillion different income streams, different ideas. So they might have coaching, they might have an ebook, they might have an online course and so on. So they might want to do all these things at once. But what happens is that your energy is divided between all of those things. So to build one whole bridge will take longer because you're trying to build 4 bridges at once. Whereas if you just try to build one bridge, you could build that a lot faster than try and actually get to where you want to go. What's actually better is just getting your energy focused on building 1 to 2 bridges to your destination, so that you get there faster. So for example, you might want to focus on getting a steady stream of coaching clients before adding in an online course. So I know that in my example, for my business, I've got a lot of different things there, but those are things that are already, actually some of them are built out, but some of them are new. So what I need to do is make sure that I'm just building one thing at a time. So my brain right now is saying to me, Laura, you should do to get both of the masterminds going now. But I know that actually I just want to get one of I just need to focus on one of them at a time and get that bridge built and then go for another one. And it just helps you have more of a single focus. To add to that though, just to be aware of something that you'll also need to think about is that you'll always have, I think I might have it on another slide, but you'll always have your ticking over tasks, and I'll talk a bit more about that in detail. But the good way to think about it is to set yourself goals every 90 days. So each quarter you might have a main goal. The reason my 90-day goals are really helpful is because setting goals for any longer is proven to be ineffective, but a 90-day goal gives you time to actually ramp up and get things done. So set your 90-day goal and then decide what 1 or 2 bridges you need. So either the income streams or big projects you need to get there. So for example, and then you actually want to map out your quarters. So let's say your January to March goal is to hit a 3k month, and that your focus for doing that is going to be one-to-one coaching. Your April to June goal is to get 1,000 subscribers, and your Facebook ads is going to be your focus for that. July to September, your goal is to sell your first e-course. So your main task for that is creating your e-course. October to December, your goal is to hit a 4k month, and you want to run coaching, and selling your e-course is the main thing for that. You'll always have your admin taking over tasks, which will always go alongside your main bridge. So that was what I was just mentioning there, and you mentioned it somewhere else. You're ticking over tasks. So to give you an example from mine. So these are the tasks that you have to do consistently to, and I mean, you don't, again, this is just my opinion. People run businesses in lots of different ways, but what I've found is really effective is when you do your ticking over tasks consistently, you've got like a really good foundation for your business. So for me, that's blogging consistently, that's sending out newsletters to my list consistently, that's having a presence on social media consistently, that's engaging in my Facebook group and helping to serve people consistently in the Facebook group, and building that community and being an active part of that community. It's managing my finances. It's, for me, I have a virtual assistant who helps me with a few different tasks, so it's working with her and answering emails and things like that. Those are my ticking over tasks. If I start a podcast, which I'm really hoping to do, a podcast will be another ticking over task, because it'll be a part of marketing, but it'll be something that I do consistently. That's not attached. Setting up the podcast would be a project, but continuing to do it would be a ticking over task, if that makes sense. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea. And then we get into the how to do it all kind of thing. So what you would do, so let's take that very, very first goal that we set for January to March, and that was to get 3k a month, and one-to-one coaching was going to be the main vehicle for that. And what you want to do is you just want to stick that down in the middle of a page. You can do this on a sheet of paper. It's basically just a mind map, and just write down all of the different things you can think of that are attached to that particular area of work. So here I've got, you want to have a payment system in place. You might want to go to local networking groups to talk about what you do. You might want to experiment with Facebook ads and having an opt-in email training series. You might want to attach to the opt-in. You're going to need like a booking system. You might want to be doing discovery calls with people. Something I've missed on here is a sales page. And just get everything out of your head, like marketing, systems, admin, like everything you can think of that you're going to need to consider around this particular area of work. And then you can start and decide, look at what tasks kind of fit into which heading. So here I've highlighted all the ones in pink, which are marketing tasks. And I think that's just really, really helpful for you to see, well, these are all the marketing tasks that I need to do. These are like the admin tasks that I need to do, and so on. And then once you've got those tasks all kind of listed out and you know what they are, you can create an action plan. So just to give you an example, create email training series, set up the tech for that series, create a landing page, set up Facebook ads. By the way, Facebook ads are not necessary for every business, but they are useful, so I always put that in. Offer discovery call at the end of the training series, if you're going to do that. Research booking and payment systems, create your sales page. You just want to put all of your actions down, and it just kind of organises them into a path, basically. And remember, this is your key goal for a whole 90 days, is to get this up and running. So when you think about the overwhelm, like, this is your core focus. You're going to have your ticking over tasks, but this is your core focus, is to get through this action plan list. Or you can also just start for your whole business and just have like these headings, so like marketing, admin, financial management, social media, which could be within marketing, and just lots of different headings, whatever you feel works for you in terms of just getting out a lot of information. I like the mind map model, but again, you can kind of start to pop things underneath that as well. And then finally, this is where we actually review everything that we've got down. So one of the reasons why I like to start with the income ideas first is because I just think that's the core of your business. Like, that has to work. But what's a good thing to do at the end is to think about your greater business purpose, your ideal client profile, like your mission statement, your vision, all that kind of stuff. The lovely fluffy stuff that a lot of people start with, but that kind of gets a bit more tricky. Now, if you're starting a business, you do actually want to do that first. So just a quick thing, you do want to have a bit of an idea of that first. But if you're an established business, like, come back to those core values of your business and just reflect on everything. So does anything need to be tweaked to bring it more into line with that? So for example, let's say you're reviewing your ideal client profile, you might want to add in a new marketing idea. So for example, if your ideal client is like a woman in her 30s who hates going to the gym but who likes running, you might want to actually add, or I might offer a free talk to some local running groups in my area, or I might see if I can get into some Facebook groups where women run, and authentically and not breaking the rules of the Facebook group, share some of the some helpful things and try and be helpful for people. So that to me is a really, really useful way of doing it, because it's particularly for established businesses. Like I say, if you're starting a new business, you probably do want to have a bit of an idea of like what your greater business purpose and your ideal client profile is. But again, that's kind of like, I could probably talk a bit more about that in a lot more detail around how a lot of businesses are structured and what the starting point is and things like that. But for the sake of this planning thing, that's a good way to do it. So yeah. And then finally, really important, you want to run the numbers. So for each income generation area, you want to crunch the numbers. So to give you an example here, we've got the 3k month. Again, this is that goal. You want to have a 3k month from one-to-one coaching. So to get that, let's say you're going to charge £300 a month. You're going to need 10 clients paying £300 a month on a 3-month program. So, obviously, because each client is going to last you, is going to work with you for 3 months. So you're going to want to have 10 clients at any one time. Or for another example, you might want 3 to 4 new clients each month to help you get to that point where that's consistent. So I think sometimes that just helps you when you start to run the numbers. That just helps you kind of see how things need to look to hit some of your goals. Personally, like I used to be really into the numbers, and I used to have like spreadsheets and targets and stuff. I've took a bit of a step back from that, and I'm going to go a little bit woo. Sometimes I think you can leave a little bit of a space for the universe to work its magic. And sometimes I think when you over plan and you're over focused on the numbers, there's not that space for that to happen. But really, it just depends on you and what feels good to you. If tracking goals and tracking number of clients and tracking income feels good to you, or is important because you need to know that you're going to have money to pay your mortgage at the end of the month, do that. But if you're a bit more spiritually inclined, or you're happy to just have a bit more space and a bit more flow around the money numbers, then you can do that as well. There's no right or wrong. It's just about having an awareness, I think. Then finally, I find it really helpful to just write all of this up into one document rather than having like lots of different pages everywhere. Write it up into one document. I've got mine in a G Drive document, and I review it at least once a month. I put my life intentions and goals, and I blogged about that as well. I think I've got a link in the blog post that accompanies this. I actually put it all together because to me, my business and life merge in such a big way. I can't really split them, but I think it's helpful just to have it written down, and then you've got there to reflect on. And again, something just to mention as well about the quarterly goals, if they change, like if you do January to March and then you get to April, and actually the goal that you set at the start of the year for the April to June, it doesn't feel right anymore, then just, there's no harm, you can change it. That's not a big deal. This is just about giving you some direction at the start. But this is the thing, any good plan will change because life is unpredictable and different things might happen, and you might discover that you've got this newfound passion for something, or this newfound skill or whatever, or you might work with someone who's new, and it might change as well. But you can do this. You can absolutely do this. God, if I can do this, you guys can do it, I promise. So just to give you a bit of information as well, I really do hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope it's given you some ideas. Just to give you a little bit of information on the 2 programs that I'm going to be bringing out, just a bit of the headline information, in case this is going to be helpful for anyone. I've got my Done For You business program, as I mentioned. This is my 6-month, this is like the everything all in thing. It's run over 6 months. I will do your website, your branding, your opt-ins, your email systems, your Facebook ad cover, your business cards, like everything. This is everything that you could possibly need to get your business. Either this is probably good if you're getting started, or if you know that your entire business just needs a complete refresh. That is definitely the program for you. It's something that I've done. I've done this program for a few times. But what I want to do this now is just to offer everything. I've never done it where I just do everything for someone. But actually, I think on reflection, it's just a lot easier just to be like, right, I'm going to just do it all. You still got to do all of the content, but I do all the design, all of the implementation, and we work on the content ideas and things together. Plus, you get access to all the trainings in the mastermind. And then the second offer that I've got, which might be of interest to you, is my Wholehearted Business Mastermind. So that's going to be starting in March. It's run over 4 months. I'm looking at about 8, possibly 10 women. You get 2 one-to-one calls with me. at least 90 minutes to have a really good chat about your business at the start and towards the end. There's 8 mastermind courses, like bi-weekly. Actually, there'll be more than 8. I need to change that. There'll be the bi-weekly calls over the program. There's a private Facebook group and full access to me, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of trainings. So this is something I'm really excited about doing. But these are just a few ideas. I've still got to write down a whole bunch of stuff that I want to do. But setting up a funnel. So funnel is like an automated way to make money, which is great. Facebook ads, growing your Instagram, using your Pinterest so you can get 50% more traffic to your site, getting more clients, setting up an opt-in email system, how to write and design sales pages, and just loads and loads of stuff. So it's going to have so many trainings that are going to really help you. So this is really good for you, perhaps if you have like a specific goal that you want to achieve in 4 months. So perhaps that's that £3,000 a month goal that you want to achieve in that 4 months, and then we would work together and I would support you, plus through the trainings and things and getting things set up to help you, and you get continued access to the training. So even after the program was finished, you would still have access to all that training. So yeah, so if any of those sound good, if anyone's interested in talking about those options, you can just pop me an email and we can have a chat. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I really, really do hope that's been helpful. I know that it can feel, I think when you run your own business, it can feel a little bit scary. It can sometimes feel like you're a little bit alone. And that's certainly how I felt for a very, very long time. So I just hope that this has given you some ideas, some things to think about. And I just wish you all the best of luck for the rest of the year. All the success in the world. Thanks for watching. Bye.